Here is the look at the stock market, and we're going to start out by looking at the S&P 500. The charts we're going to look at are weekly charts and have our cycle analysis on it. So the different arcs that you see on the bottom right over here, those are what's called a cycle bracket for those of you that are new. And what we're looking at is a dominant cycle length now that's shifted at about 26 weeks. And then there's this minor one in here that runs 9 to 11 weeks that you can see that's been fairly consistent. You can see the low right here, and the low right here, and the low here, and then right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then this rally. Now, the stock market right now is amazingly still holding up when you look at the S&P 500. I'll show you the Nasdaq. It's weaker. The Russell I'm not going to show you, but that has broken down already. So that really is looking like it is the first warning when we see the formation in the Russell. So again, some of the evidence is what we look at. The first part of that is cycle analysis. And the cycle analysis in here shows, well, this is the first week of this next minor cycle that you see in the bottom. And then what we're having is a pullback here, but it's pulled back to support. Let me just take a little tighter look right in here. And you can see that it has gotten to that little support zone right over there, gave up about half of that, and then has rebounded. Of course, we're in a period of favorable seasonality right now. You wouldn't know it looking at the way that the market is acting. However, that seasonality will probably keep the market from moving down in any significant way over the next week. Now, there's a short-term pattern that says there are issues, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Let's take a little closer look right in here and look at this gray box, and you can see that what we're talking about here for the conditions of the market are that the S&P 500 intermediate gets a slight downgrade. The momentum has now turned negative. This is the reversal scout. You can see when the reversal scout turns down, it gives you a warning that momentum is down. When the reversal scout turns up, it gives you a warning that momentum is turning up and that the previous low right over here is actually a cycle low. And then the swing high, swing low analysis gives us this support right over here and projections. Projections still remain getting up here and testing the high. It actually, the futures equaled or got over the high a little bit, but then reversed overnight. So they didn't quite make it. The cash didn't quite make it. The futures made it overnight, but that's not what our charts reflect. Still, this is looking at the potential for the S&P 500 to get up to about 47.80, 47.85 over the next several weeks. And then we get into another period where these cycles are coming down, and there's risk right over here. So the conditions in here are negative when you look at that downturn right over there, which is significant. Cycle patterns remain positive, and the phase is rising. For the short term, momentum is starting to fail, but it is still positive and failing. Now, when I show you the Nasdaq, it's worse. Cycle patterns are, we'll call them neutral right now when we look at the short term and the intermediate term. Our option bias indicator, a very important indicator, is neutral, and our market condition indicator is still positive, but it keeps dancing between positive and neutral, but kind of holding up there. The next phase, and right now that phase is rising for the short term. The next trough is January 4th to 12th. That means that it's pretty likely that there's going to be a decline sometime and maybe just before the end of the year and into that time frame. And that would be a period that there would be another period of risk. So you can see when you look at the S&P 500 here, it is still in this uptrend that's been going on. The momentum is just barely turning over. And even though we've had a ton of selling, it's not that bad yet. You could still get higher prices in here before the peak set, and we thought the peak would be in the first quarter. It is showing some signs that at best it will be as a test or slightly getting better. Now, when we look at the Nasdaq in here, that is a very different story right here. And let's get a little closer look here. And the Nasdaq, you could see momentum turns down right over here. It got down to the support, but what's happening is that, let me just blow this up a little bit more. What's happening is that the shorter term patterns are giving you more indications of problems. So when I look at the conditions here on the Nasdaq, actually that says S&P, but this is the Nasdaq right now. The intermediate term is now downgraded in here because momentum has clearly turned negative. The cycle pattern now is neutral. And the phase is in a peaking phase. You see this sell signal right over there, and then you get it over here with momentum. So we rate the phase as peaking, and you can see in here we're showing the trend right in here as coming down. Now, the short term is downgraded. Momentum is negative. Cycle patterns are neutral to negative. Our OBI, option bias indicator, is neutral, and our market condition indicator is only slightly positive now. So that is all giving ground. The phase is declining in the short term, and the next trough, January 4th to 12th. So what that tells us is that things are deteriorating pretty significantly here on the Nasdaq, and this peak right over here looks to be very significant, and we're very likely to see some attempted rally in here, but then turning down, and this period out over here into March really looks like quite a difficult period for the Nasdaq. I'm going to go back to the S&P 500 now again, so you could see that that same period over there into March is very significant as you get this turn down over here, and this period, this yellow oval gives you this period of risk that takes you out into March. So what it really looks like to me is that you could hold up in here, you could try to take out the highs, but it's not going to make it by much. And that ultimately what's going to happen is that you get some very wide swings that end up making the top in here with a fairly good decline out into March. That is the 1 to 3 month view. We'll just call it choppy right now, a deteriorating condition going on, certainly in the mega caps, and certainly seeing that in the Nasdaq and breakdown in the Russell, and the likelihood that we're going to see choppy market and a peak that comes in the early part of the first quarter, if we haven't seen it already, and then a market that is much weaker into March. The declines into March we're projecting for the S&P 500 down to that 50% fib, and getting below 44.95 suggests a major top. And that would be a possibility. I mean, we were just down close to that not that long ago. 44.95, the key number to look at. That will declare a top in this bull market and some trouble out there in 22. That is what we expect anyway. And that is a look at the stock market. We certainly would be raising cash as the market tries to do better here in this holiday season. That's a look at the stock market. Thanks for watching that askSlim special video. Now take a quick peek at our annual askSlim holiday special. Great holiday gifts for traders and investors. Give the gift of askSlim. These are our special rates, in fact the lowest of the year for 3-month memberships, and they are non-recurring. So if you give this gift to somebody, you won't get billed again, and they won't get billed again either. Give the gift to someone you know who loves trading and investing, or give the gift to yourself. It's great for first-time members at askSlim.com to really see what we do. Use this special to try a higher level if you're already an askSlim member, and do that for 3 months. And then we're going to give you a bonus gift. We're going to send you an Amazon gift card that's going to help you pay for part of these memberships that you give to somebody or give to yourself. Let's take a look as we go to the askSlim page in here. And this is the main page, and what I want you to do is to go to the very top, as you can see, that line for our holiday specials, and then click on this little green box, save 30% or more, and that's going to take you to our special holiday page where we have these offers, and you'll be able to see that there are 4 different gift options, and those are for our level. 2, 3, 4, and 4 plus members, and you can see that we're going to give you back an Amazon gift card depending on which one you take for level 2, level 3, level 4, or level 4 plus. So if you take level 4, you're going to be able to get a $100 gift card back for that 3-month membership. And then we have the list in here of everything that's included in each of those memberships. Just a tremendous amount of content that is both educational and analytical. There's no place you're going to learn more than what we teach with our amazing staff of 4 analysts that teach you all of the time the great things you need to know about trading and investing. So please do go to askSlim.com and take a look at those holiday specials and give that gift of askSlim. Thank you very much for listening.